All right, welcome. I'm going to share my screen because I got some pretty slides to show you all. All right, can you guys see it okay?
Yes.
All right, make sure you tell me if for any reason it starts to get slow, like pulling them up, because I had a webinar I did on my laptop a couple weeks ago and it was kind of being weird. Let me mute you lovelies. Okay, and all this stuff we have to do, starting up our chat, all that good stuff. Put that down here so I can see it. All right. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. If you're here, it means you want a whole lot of leads, which is awesome. So I'm going to give you the 7 steps to create a free offer that's going to bring in bucket loads of leads. These 7 steps are what I do every single time I create something, whether it be a webinar like here tonight, or whether it be one of the prayer challenges that I've done. All of these things that I've done or that I continue to do over and over again, I'm going to show you tonight so that you have a good understanding of how to create these offers so that you can continue creating them over and over and over again. I know that many of you know me, but for those that don't know me, I am Michelle Edwards. I am a Christian business coach. I love and I am so passionate about helping women dive into their purpose, help them to create just a business and a life and a purpose centered on God. I love especially helping people navigate through the technical stuff, all of that, those things that people are like, I don't know how to do that. That's the stuff I love helping women with. I'm also passionate about my amazing, beautiful, wonderful family, my bearded Bostonian, Eric, and then also my 3 kids, Aiden, Charlotte, and Sophie. I also have a deep, deep-rooted heart for Haiti. I got to go last January. I'm actually planning my 2nd trip for next January, and I'm super excited about that mission and just serving that country. So Psalm 119, 130 tells us that the unfolding of your words gives light and it imparts understanding to the simple. So in everything that I do, I always bring God into it. I always bring Christ into it because I feel like He is the ultimate self-development guru. And so I always seek out His word in anything and everything that I share with all of you. And I believe that what this verse is telling us is that, you know, His words and His messages that He gives us give us that light to keep moving on and to keep obeying and to keep sharing our purpose. But then also it gives us understanding in a very simple way. The things that we put out into the world to show people our purpose and to show them what gifts we have to offer to the world don't have to be complicated. And that is the whole message around today, is it's all about keeping it simple. Since you joined live tonight, you get an extra special treat. I'm going to walk you through a live example of how simple it is to set up a free offer. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I do it. In fact, we're going to set up the landing page that I'm going to launch tomorrow for next Monday's webinar. So you're actually going to see me do it live and see exactly the steps I go through so that you can go and recreate that for yourselves. If you have any questions, feel free to pop those into the chat. I have it down below, so I'll be able to see those and I can answer those as we go. I want this to be very interactive. I want it to be engaging because I feed off of your energy. If you're bored, I'm bored. And so I want you to be excited about what we're going to talk about. As I mentioned, it's all about simplicity. So today we're going to cover the 7 steps that are going to help you take that free offer that you have in your mind and help you generate a bucket load of leads so that you have people coming to you and you can stop hounding your friends and family to either sign up with you or purchase from you. And we're going to cover all of the tools that I use to create all of these amazing freebie offers. So step 1 is visualization. If you joined me in the webinar, or if you joined me in the website challenge, you know that this is so important. If we don't know who we're talking to, how can we find them? You have to know who you're talking to every time you create an offer like this. Before doing anything, I want you to picture that ideal person. I want you to visualize that person in your mind and create that offer for them. If you continue to try to speak to the masses, you will trying to attract everyone, you're attracting no one. And so you have to get clear on who that person is that you want to join you in business, who you want to sign up with you, who you want to invest in, who you want to purchase one of your coaching packages, all of those things. You have to talk to one single person. Step 2, you have to ask your peeps what they want. You can't assume that you know what they want. You know what they need, but it's not necessarily what they want. You have to go ask them. You are miles ahead of where they are right now. So you know what they need, but sometimes, and I know you all can appreciate this, when you get stuck, you don't know what to do. You don't know, you can't even see the trees. You can't see the path through the trees. And so we need to be with them, walking with them step by step in everything that they do. And they can't see their current problem. And so it's important for you to create that solution when you can help identify what their current problem is, help them to see that solution that is down the road a little while, help lead them down the path that you want them. If you remember, it was either a week ago or about 2 weeks ago, I asked the women in the Faith Focused Entrepreneurs group what they wanted. And they told me that they wanted to build up some leads, that they wanted to learn how to build up a sales funnel, how to learn how to bring in more prospects. And so here we are, giving them the solution to the problem that they said to me that they wanted. They also gave me a whole other list that we'll talk about later. But you have to ask your people what they need, especially if you're selling products. Because you want them to purchase everything and anything under the sun, but they don't really know what they need. And purchasing, when you're talking about selling products, it's so hard when you do that because you know what are the goodies, but most people don't necessarily buy stuff just because they want it. I mean, a lot of times they do, but a lot of times they'll buy stuff if it's going to solve a problem or make them feel good. And so our job is to help them or to kind of know what to anticipate by asking them what they're really focused on right now. What is the current issue that they're trying to solve today? Step 3 is that you have to solve one problem. So if you remember in the group, I asked, I gave you about maybe 5 options and asked people to vote. But I can't tackle all of those problems in one webinar. So today is about leads, generating leads, building up our prospect list, helping to create stuff so those people can find us. And then there will be several other webinars that will come out through the remainder of the month. There'll be more Facebook Lives because I only want to focus on one problem. So don't try to solve all of your customers' problems at once. Focus on one thing at a time, because they can't process everything at once. It's way too much. So if they give you more than one problem, that's fantastic, because then you have content that you can continue to generate freebie offers, and you can continue to build up your list of prospects and to just build up your audience and your community. And then you just prioritize those problems that they give you and deliver those things like one thing at a time. Don't try to give them the full house in one webinar. Step 4 is that you want to make it free and easy. Obviously free, right? That's the whole point of this webinar, is creating a freebie offer. But people love free. They will sign up for stuff left and right. In the comments, I want you to share how many things that you've signed up for in like the last 4 or 5 days. Like, how many things have you put in your name and your email address and they've sent something to your inbox? Don't be shy. Yeah, too many. I hear ya. My spam and my clutter box is way too large right now. So people love free. They want to consume everything because they have that fear of missing out, right? But the key is, whatever you deliver them, it has to be something that's easy to digest. If you send them an ebook that's 100 pages, I can guarantee you they aren't even going to open it, right? So you have to make something that is small, quick, actionable steps so that they know what is expected of them. So some really great examples of freebies that tend to be really high converting are cheat sheets. People love cheat sheets. Templates. If you can give someone a template where all they do is they just follow that and they follow the lead that you've given them, that is amazing. Free trainings, obviously you're here, so you love free trainings, so everyone loves free trainings. Swipe files, if you don't know what a swipe file is, that is something where somebody has put work into it. Sometimes you'll see it, it'll be an email swipe file or hashtag swipe files, or you name it, social media swipe files, and people will put things in there where they'll actually give you that stuff. And now it's not meant for you to go and copy it, but it's meant to give you like some guidelines and to give you some verbiage and to give you a little bit of direction and guidance so that you can go and create those freebies for yourself and for your audience. Toolkits, free trials, free samples, checklists, all of those things are hot for high converting lead generation tools. So let's see here. Jamie has a question. Is there a way to stop unsubscribes after they get the freebie, or just deal with it? You got to just deal with it. I'm going to talk to you guys about this at the end, but my unsubscribe is pretty high. And that is because when I started building my list, I was talking to the wrong people. So now that I know who my ideal client is and I'm giving them everything that they need, my unsubscribe list count is kind of high because I'm not talking to those people any longer. And so I just kind of have to deal with it. I look at unsubscribes as kind of like a blessing from above, because you don't want those people on your list if they don't want to be there. It just makes room for more people that want to be there. And so I kind of like when people unsubscribe from my stuff, especially the ones that opted into my prayer challenge that I did in December, because they're really looking for like life mentors and life coaches. They're not looking for someone to help them build a business necessarily. I mean, they might be, but I'm certain that there are several that just wanted some prayer. And so the unsubscribes on my part is kind of, I see that as a blessing, because then it kind of clears out so that my open rate is higher. So don't be upset about the unsubscribes. It just leaves more room for the people that want to buy from you, that want to learn from you, that want to be a part of your community. So never, ever take offense to that or be upset about that. It's always, always, always a good thing. Okay, step 5, you have to be authentic. You got to ditch those buzzwords that we all love to use. You want to keep your headlines clear about whatever it is that you're offering. You don't want to do that bait and switch. So you want to be clear in your headline about what it is that you're giving them. The buzzwords that I recommend that you try to leave out of any of your copy or anything on your landing page is, one is using the word reach out gets you nowhere. Ask them to be specific about a time to talk. Get specific about the appointment. Tell them what you want to do with them or what you want them to do. When you say, go ahead and reach out to me if you have any questions, people will never reach out to you if they have questions. So you have to reword things so that it's, I know you have this question, so click this button and set up an appointment with me. Because if you just ask them to reach out, they almost never will do it. The second thing is that ask the word I as much as possible throughout any of your copy or throughout any of your stuff. You want to rephrase your questions and your copy so that it's about them. It should always be about what you're going to help them with, about what you're going to do for them. And so if you can take out the word I, or at least gut check yourself when you're either sending an email about your freebie, or if you have any kind of eyes all over your landing page, you want to really make sure that they're appropriate for them to be there. My third suggestion, and I know all of you have heard this 1,000 times, where they say, just ask them what keeps them up at night. I want to hear in chat if you guys get that, have been told that, just ask them what keeps them up at night. This is so impersonal, you guys. If someone that I just met asked me, what keeps you up at night? Why would I tell them? No. You want to ask them engaging questions so that they tell you what keeps them up at night. You want to discover their pain points. So something you could ask them is, when is the last time you remember not worrying about money? Now that's a question that someone could answer, or they would really make them ponder and think about it. Or how often do you get quality time with your family? Or when is the last time that you did something for yourself? When is the last time that you didn't have screaming kids running around you? Those are the kinds of things that you want to ask about. So continuing our conversation, post questions in the chat of ways that you can try to get it out of them, what it is that's keeping them up at night. That way you guys can see what other people are suggesting, and you can take that and go run with it after this webinar is over. Another word that's, and I'm guilty as charged of using it, and that's impactful. So instead of saying, I'm going to make an impact in your life, or don't you want to make an impact in your life? You want to tell them how you're going to help them make the impact. So focus more on the action that you're going to work with them on, or the solution that you're going to help provide, so that they can make that impact. But try to be careful about that word. And I'm guilty of it because I want to impact people's lives too. And so we have to be careful about that we don't sound hokey, or that we're not putting up too many smoke and mirrors. The other thing is that you want to pretend like you're talking to a kindergartner. Because if a kindergartner understands what it is you're offering, your audience is going to understand what it is you're offering. If you try to use all of these big words, these big industry words, because you want to look like you're an expert in what you're talking about, it's going to do nothing but just turn people away, especially the ones that are outside of your industry. So maybe you're trying to pull more people in. You want to make sure that you're using words that are seamless, that anybody can understand. And especially, if you can bring it down to that kindergarten level where you keep it simple, it will make your landing page convert so much higher, because people know exactly what they're getting, and they don't feel like it's fluff. Okay, step 6 is creating a simple landing page. Simple beats fancy on a landing page any day. Every single one of my landing pages, from the time I created my very first one that I've built and I've launched, have had a conversion rate between 20 and 55% doing exactly these things I'm going to share with you. So if I can, and 20% is normal, that's average. And so if you can get people converting at between that 20 and that 75% range, then you are in the money. So your landing page should contain the following: a clear headline telling them what they're going to get, a photograph of you, or a video that's 30 seconds or less. People want to know who they're learning from, who they're working with, who they're signing up with. They want to see a visual of that person who's going to be showing up in their inbox. You also want to have only one call to action with instructions on your site. So for example, your call to action could be, put in your name and email below and I'll send you the deets. And they put in their name, they put in their email, they hit submit, and that's it. You don't want to have your social media links. You don't want to have a link to your website. You want to give them one thing to do, and that is put in their name, put in their email, and click submit. You also want to give them 3 to 5 bullets of what you're going to help them with. What is the value that they're going to walk away with? What is going to be that thing that really motivates them to put in their name and email address? Because people don't want to put in their name and email addresses because they know that their inbox will fill up. I mean, we're probably a little bit different because we love our freebies, right? But a lot of people don't want to have an inbox full of spam. And so you have to show them the value that you're going to bring to them. You also want a short bio about you and who you are and what you do, but no other links, absolutely not, nothing. This landing page should go directly to a thank you page. Now on your thank you page, you can have all of those links. That thank you page should include short instructions of what they can expect to come next, and then also links to your social media, links to your website, links to your Facebook group, or any kind of community that you've built. That's where you put all of that stuff. You also could put a share button so that they could share it with their friends. That's the stuff where you put everything that you want them to do. And you can include all of those links in the email that you send them. But don't put anything on that first landing page because you only want them to do one thing when they get to that point. Step 7 is you want to keep it evergreen. So evergreen, if you've not heard that industry term before, means that it's not date driven. So it can be running all the time. It doesn't matter if that person signs up today or a month from now. And so you want to, I shouldn't say never, because in a case like this where we have a webinar where it's a live thing and it's a date and a time, you want to put that on there. But then after this webinar is over, I can make this an evergreen freebie where they sign up and I send them this video that they get to watch at their own time and their own leisure. And so depending on what you do, try not to make it date driven. A lot of times I'll do challenges, like you guys have probably participated in some of those, but I can always go back, and sometimes I have, and make those challenges evergreen so that people can opt into them all of the time. Because this way it gives you that timeless and that classic feel that you can just anticipate what your prospects and your clients and your leads are needing as you develop that relationship with them. Because you want this to be something that can run all the time through Facebook ads or any kind of marketing that you do. You want it to be something that you can use over and over and over again. Okay, now for the fun. I'm going to give you a live example of the free training that I'm going to be doing next week called 5 Steps to Woo Your Audience, Build Trust, Create a Loyal and Community Online. And so what I'm going to walk you through is the tools that I use to actually do this. And I use a tool called Entreport. That's where all of my email marketing is kept, and it's where all of my landing pages are done, and I can even take payments through it. But we're not going to get into all of that. I'm just going to show you how to take these 7 steps and put them in place online in this landing page. Does anybody have any questions before we dive into this? Okay. Can you guys see my screen okay? It should have a blue box. Alrighty, perfect. I'm gonna move this little chat over here. Again, as always, feel free to ask any questions as we go through this. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, so step one is that we're gonna visualize my ideal client. And that could really honestly be any of you, right? Because if you're here, you're an ideal client of mine because I talked to someone specific. And that woman, we'll take Sophia as an example. So Sophia has a doTERRA business that she wants to build online. She wants to stop hounding her friends and family to purchase her oils. She wants to show up into the marketplace, someone unique, someone that offers a lot of holistic opportunities and helps people overhaul their health and their wellness through using essential oils. And so when I think about Sophia, I want to make sure that what I'm doing and the messages that I'm sending really apply to her. And so I know, because I know from many of you, that building leads is an issue, but also that nurturing those leads and turning them into just a lead into more of a community is also something that you guys have that desire to move towards. And so that's why this next webinar that we're going to do next Monday is all about building and wooing your audience and trying to build up that loyal and build that trust within your community. Okay, so I've visualized my ideal client, which could be any of you, but we picked on Sophia. Step two is that I want to poll my peeps, but I already did that because I posted that in the group, asking them what trainings and what things that what problems they were looking to try to solve in their business. And then step three is that I'm going to solve one problem. So today was about leads. Next week, it's about creating that community. And it's kind of one of those things that what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? You got to have leads to build community, and you got to build community to get leads. And so I could have probably done either one of these in no particular order, and it would have made sense. And so in this case, on this webinar, we're going to solve one problem. Tonight, it's about leads. Next week, it's about building community. Step 4 is that it's free. It's a free training. It's a free live webinar. There's no sales pitch. I just want people to show up so that I can share the knowledge that I have and help them build up their businesses and build up their communities. So step 5 is all about authenticity. I want to be real with my audience. I want them to know that I understand what it is they're trying to do. So the bullet points that I'm going to share on my landing page are 1, foster relationships and connection by keeping God and your faith in the center. The second value point is going to be build up your community online so they show up and feel like lifelong friends. And the third value point is turn your inspired community into paying clients. And then step 6 is this, the landing page. So we're going to give it a clear and juicy headline, which I already did. I've already created some graphics, and I'm going to give one call to action. So let's just walk through actually doing this. Okay. So this is the landing page. And as you can see, I only have one block on here, which when it comes up, it should be my bio. Oh, Sandra says, what's a landing page? I'm new to this whole thing. I love Sandra. Sandra's actually in the Christian Entrepreneur Academy, and she's going to get a lot of one-on-one help about this. But a landing page is exactly the thing that you went to sign up for this webinar. So it's telling you, oh, Michelle's doing a free training. Great. It's about 7 steps to create a free offer online. Great. And then, oh, yep, that time works for me. I'm going to put in my name and email, and those are the things that I'm desiring to get. So that's the landing page, that page that you land on where you put in your name and your email address. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find a block where I can put in my graphic plus the bullet points of the values that I'm going to offer. And so in order to do that, I'm going to use one of these. because they tend to be more of my favorite. So we'll use this little guy right here. I'm going to pull him to the top. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see it a little bit better. Okay. So I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go find my graphic that I created earlier today. Put that in here. Over here, I'm going to call attention to my faith-focused entrepreneurs. I've got all of my fonts up here. That one seems monstrous, so let's fix that. And then I've got my bullet points over here on my notes, so I'm going to grab those. Oops. Sorry if you guys can hear my daughter upstairs having a meltdown. Real life, friends, real life. And then in this case, in some of these, I'm gonna like pull out more words because I want it to get people's attention, right? Okay, so we're gonna save that. In this case, in this form here, I'm actually going to hide that button because I'm gonna put in a place for people to put in their name and email address, okay? And then we can preview it here, although you might not, can you see that? I don't know if you can or not. But that's what it would look like if somebody came to it. Sandra, you're not sounding stupid, girl. Ask all the questions you can. No, there's no stupid questions when it comes to this. That's why you're here. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a smart form here where we are gonna have people put in their info. So remember that I want to make sure that people know what to do, right? I don't want to leave any kind of anything left unturned. And so I want to give them instructions. So I'm saying join us live Monday, June 19th at 6 p.m. And then down below here, I'm going to say, put in your name and email, and I'll send you all the details. We'll make this a little bit smaller. Okay, so then down here, for this form, though, I don't really care about the last name because the least amount I can get people to put in, they're more likely to put it in. So I just want their first name and their email. This button, though, however, I want that to stick out a little bit more. So we'll do this. Okay. And this terms and text will shut that off. Okay. So there's that bad boy. I'm also going to change this up a little bit. See, now I'm getting all OCD. Okay, so faith-focused entrepreneurs. Are you ready to build community and woo your audience? Foster relationships and connection by keeping God and your faith in the center. Build up your community online so they show up and feel like, I gotta fix that. Lifelong friends. Feel like, that's a lot of L's. I might reword that. And then turn your inspired community into paying clients. Yeah, oh, Jamie, MailChimp. Oh, my word. So I've used ClickFunnels, MailChimp. I've also supported clients who've used Aweber and Lead Pages, and I can tell you that Ontraport, above and beyond everything else that I've ever used, is so much simpler, and they have an amazing support online and tutorials online that walk you through all of this. And so, yeah, I've used a number of things, and if you look at it, price comparison, of course, it is going to be so much more, but it's so much easier. So it's like you're spending a little bit more money, but you're spending a lot less time. And so it's definitely, yeah, so ClickFunnels is actually more than this. You can start out using Ontraport at $79 a month. And then once you hit 1,000 on your list, it will go up from there. But I'm telling you, it is so much easier than using a lot of those other things. I used ClickFunnels for the first 9 months of my business, and I spent so much time on it. This has been so much easier. Johanna actually uses Ontraport as well. And so it's just so much easier because it's got all these amazing templates that you can use, and you don't have to, like, I started from scratch because I wanted to show you how to add the blocks and stuff, but there are templates that you can go and just modify it. And so there's lots of easy ways to do it. Okay, so we've got our clear and juicy headline, right? That's in here. I might actually, I'm not 100% sold on this. I might actually change this so that the headline is over here and maybe put a different image. So you'll just have to wait and see what I finally do. But then I have a photograph of myself. You could also put a video in here. I've got one call to action, which is give me your name and your email, and I'm going to have you click submit. I've got my 3 to 5 bullet points here of what you're going to get out of next week's webinar. And then I have my short bio down here that I use all the time on all of the bottoms of all of my pages. And so the beautiful part about this, and actually I would never have built this from scratch again. What I would have done had I not used it tonight as a demo is I would have just copied the one that I did for the webinar tonight and just changed the verbiage. And so you can just copy and redo them that way. You don't have to start from scratch every single time, depending on what it is you're working on. And so that is also the nice thing about this, is that once you get it set, it's set, and you can just go and copy it and just change all of the info. So now on here, I never do the meet. Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I think I want people to know a little bit about me and what I'm bringing to the relationship. And so that's why I put it there, but you don't necessarily have to do that. I've done some landing pages where I haven't had that on there at all. But I kind of like it because it gives people an idea of who I am and what I'm about. Because, for example, I am a Christian business coach. And so sometimes I don't necessarily call that out at the top. And I don't want people to sign up for something where I'm going to be talking about God and faith and Jesus. And they're like, whoa, hold the phone. I don't believe in anything. And I can't connect with them. And so I like having it at the bottom because then people know a little bit about me and what I'm bringing to the relationship so that they can make sure that I'm a good fit for them. Because I don't want all of these wasted names on my list, which is where I've gotten to before, as I talked about with the unsubscribes, right? And so I kind of like it because it gives people a really good sense of who I am. Oh, they always buy into you before they buy into your business. 100% agree with that. People will stalk you and they will fill you out and they will see what you're about and they will join some of your free stuff over and over again before they buy one single thing. And so it's so important that they do buy into you before they buy into anything or before they give you that credit card number. And so the more, yeah, Sandra, you sold me. I'm so happy. But the more you show up and give your true authentic self and the more information you can give them, the more likely they are to actually purchase like Sandra did. And so it's important that you give those things that you help to attract those certain people. Oh, you're so sweet. That made my whole day. Okay, so we've got our everything here. So this is done as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna save it. There are a couple of other things that I have to do. Like if you come over here, I've got to put in like the actual name of the page and a description and all of that, but I'm not going to waste your time doing any of that. So I'm going to save this. So now when someone clicks that submit button, I'm going to show you a couple of different examples of what you could do for thank you pages because I've used them both and they've both worked great. So the first one is the one, if I'm in a quick hurry, I use this bad boy every single time. So it always says, congrats, sweet friend, you're in, check your email for all the details, join our tribe on Facebook, and I give them a link to faith-focused entrepreneurs, and then I give them a link to my website. You can use this for when you say you're in, it could be in a challenge, it could be in a free training. It could be in a group if you're trying to actually build up a community and have people join a group. You could do a ton of things. You could also change it when you go. You could use the same format, but change it depending on what it is. Congrats, sweet friend. Your freebie is on the way, or your checklist is on the way, or your cheat sheet is on the way. You could put anything in there. But this is kind of my standard go-to that I use quite a bit. So if you've opted into a lot of my stuff, you've probably seen this over and over again. Oh, you guys are so good. See, this is the stuff I love helping people with. I love helping you guys with this stuff. And I don't share it very often. And so that was one of my commitments this year, was to share more of all of these things that are up in my head, because it's hard to articulate to someone like, hey, I can help you build a freebie offer landing page. And they're like Sandra, what's a landing page, right? How do I do all of this stuff? And so I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad your minds are blown. I'm so glad that you have that you feel like it's a ton of good info, because it's so important that you have these tools so that so people can find you instead of you having to go out and find them. The second thank you page option that I will show you, and this is the one I did for the website challenge. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. That I also thought was really good, and I probably will use it more and more as I have more time. But this says you are officially signed up for the training. Check your email for the details in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, invite your business besties, connect with us over in Faith Focused Entrepreneurs on Facebook. My picture again, because I want people to connect with me visually. And then I put in a share on Facebook button here, and I'll show you how to create that. And then for this case, for next week, I'm going to give away some community building brainstorming sessions. And so I put that down here. Get your free community building brainstorming session. Although that's a lot of words, I might change that. You know, I love that you're investing in your community. I love it so much. I'm giving you a free 30-minute session. Claim your free session here. And then I have the links for them to sign up for a free session. Because the other thing that it's important to remember, and Johanna knows this, and she can back me up on it, is that you want to get people on the phone, right? You want to get them on the phone because you want to connect with them. Not even so much that you can sell them on something, but so that they feel you. They feel your energy. They feel like you're a human being. They want to know that and like and trust you, right? So that they will buy from you. And so getting them on the phone so that you can share more info is so important. And this goes for whether you're selling a product or whether you're selling like a coaching package or anything or a service or an offering. Because when it comes to selling products, and for those of you that do have product-based businesses that are on here, give away consultations, you know, offer to send them a free sample and get them on the phone so that you can share how to use that free sample. Always try to get them on the phone because that's so important to have that connection, because especially if you are in a direct sales business, I know some of you are, don't think that just because they want to build a business or just because they want to join a business, that they are always a right fit for you. Get them on the phone and make sure that they're a right fit for you. Interview them as much as they're interviewing you, because it's important that you connect with them, because you are going to be working with these people. You don't want to just assume that everyone that wants to purchase it is welcome, because that's not always true. That was the major reason as I've been working to try to fill up my academy group program, it's not getting people on the phone to give them a sales pitch. It's getting people on the phone to make sure that they're a good fit, because I don't want people in there that are going to feel like it's a waste of money, because that is just brings down the time and the negative Nellies, as Jamie says, into our tribes, and we don't want to do that. So if you can lead them from the freebie into a phone call or into a Zoom like this or into something where you can connect with them verbally, it's so important that you do that and not be afraid of that. So often when I first started doing this, I was afraid to get those people on the phone because I was afraid that they were going to feel like they were being sold to. And that is something that I've had to get over, my own mindset of being comfortable having people on the phone with me and not feeling like I'm selling them by sharing the gifts that I have. And so you have to get to that point too for yourselves. Okay, one quick little extra super duper freebie I'm going to show you is this share on Facebook button and how to do that. So if you come in here to trusty old Google, I thought I had it saved. Yes, haha, share link generator right here. Okay, so you come to, I'm going to put this little bad boy in the chat so you guys can keep that one here. Okay, so this is a share link generator, and what I'm going to do is, well, I can't do it right now because I don't have the domain for there, but let's pretend like I'm going to share, I'm going to share my website, okay? So it gives me an HTML link or the URL only. In this case, this is what I want. I want this URL, okay? So when I come over here to Entreport, I edit this. See, I just took this image off of, like, I searched in Google for share on Facebook images and found a button that I liked, saved it into my Entreport. And so here, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create a new one. Okay. So that when someone clicks on this button, let's see if I can do it in a preview. Ta-da! It'll say share on your timeline, share in your group, da 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 da, and then you can say something about it. And so there's my website that I could share. In this case, what I really want to do though is create the link for the landing page, but I'm not completely there yet. And that is what you would put in there. Okay. Love that tool. I found that bad boy. It was so good. Okay. All right. So now in this case, with this opt-in, actually, I'm going to save this in case I use it later. With this opt-in, I could make this evergreen or I could make it date-driven. I already told you I'm going to make it date-driven because we're going to meet here again next Monday to talk about building a community. So in this case, I do have the date here. Now, once I have this webinar and I've recorded it, I can quickly come in here and change this landing page that says, all of this stuff is going to stay the same, right? But down here, it's going to say, instead of join us live Monday, June 19th, blah, 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 I'm going to say, or your online community. I'm not crazy about that, but you get the point. So I could come back here, I could change this so it's not date driven anymore, so that somebody puts in their name and their email address, I'm gonna send them, again, a welcome email, but instead of the link to Zoom, I'm gonna send them the link to the video, or I'm gonna put in the video in the actual email so that they have that straight into their inbox and they can go back and they can watch that video over and over and over again. So now I have tonight's training that I can easily turn into something that's evergreen. And then I have the training for next week that I could easily turn into something that's evergreen. And so that is the thing. You want to build up these resources. You want to build up your toolkit so that you can create an email marketing sequence where you're showing people over and over and over again all of the gifts and the talents and the strengths that you have to bring to the table. And so the more that they see you and they interact with you and they witness what you can do, the more likely they are to actually purchase from you, or to purchase a product from you, or to sign up for a service with you. And so it's important to keep doing that and to keep building up those freebies. Okay? Any questions about any of that? Alrighty, so I am going to go back to our slides, if I can find them. I'm gonna make this screen smaller so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, can you guys see my slide deck again? Okay. Awesome. All right, so the tools that you need to do what I just did are, first you need canva.com. This is a free tool that will help you build your graphics, help you build up those cute little, visuals that you see that I do. Like, for example, oh, I can't go back. Maybe I can. So I did this in Canva. In fact, I did this whole slide presentation in Canva. And so that is something that is free and it's easy, and you want to make sure that you have that in your handy little trusty tool bag. So it can help you create worksheets, PDFs, templates, graphics, those memes that you see. Like today I did the Make It Happen Monday. I built that in Canva. So you can do all of those things in there. The second thing that you want is a way to record a video. This is a nice to have, right? Especially if you're going to do a free training, or if you want to create a free video or a 30-second or less video for your landing page. You can do that, and you could do that in Zoom. You could do that from a video camera, from your cell phone, any of those. But to edit it, the tools that I use are iMovie. If you have a Mac, you can use that. You can also edit it, I believe, in YouTube. And then I also found that there is a movie maker for Windows. So if you have a PC, there's also some tools, some free tools that come as a part of your PC that you should be able to actually edit the video there as well. And if you don't have Zoom, I highly, highly recommend it, because you can start up a meeting all on your own. You don't have to invite anyone. You can record it, and you can go back and just edit it. I did that. The very first challenge I did, I recorded all of my videos through Zoom, and they went great. So I'm going to put the Zoom link here over in the chat. So if you guys haven't signed up for Zoom, you can do that. Zoom is free if you keep your meetings to under 45 minutes. So if you're going to do a free training like this, and you know, like me, it's 701, right? I'm already talking over. Then you want to make sure that you buy the small package, which I think is like $15 a month or something. So Zoom is very, very helpful. And then, as I mentioned, Entreport is by far my favorite. I've used a ton of different stuff. It's an all-in-one. It's got the landing pages, email marketing, customer relationship management, payment processing. You can actually build a membership site when you get big enough and you have that need. And so it's definitely worth the $79 if this is something that you're going to keep doing over and over and over again. And here's the link for that, because it's so important that you have something that you can redo over and over again. No, Entreport has a membership site. You can build up a membership site through Entreport using WordPress. But no, Zoom is free, or you can sign up and you can have 50 people on a Zoom at a time. And so that's why I always say, like, spaces are limited. But when you start getting more and more people paying attention to what you're doing, then your webinars are going to grow and grow and grow. And so then they also have another level up where you can actually purchase a webinar version of Zoom, where you can have a bunch of different people on it. I don't know, I think it might be 150 or something like that. Okay. But definitely, it requires money to make money, you guys. None of this stuff comes for free. Even using MailChimp, that I believe is like $11 or $15 a month, the time that you spend in trying to build that up, you could be actually living in your purpose and serving your community and serving your audience in the short amount of time that it takes to build these kinds of things up. And so, and it's not just because I have technical experience. Johanna had never built a landing page before, right? Johanna, if you're still on. She had never built a landing page before, and she's building them left and right in Entreport. And so it's not just me because I have these gifts and these talents. You can go do this yourself. And so I really, really encourage you to do that. So if you're ready to start generating a whole lot of leads, I want you to book a free 30-minute session with me to do a lead generation audit. And these are only for the next 2 weeks because I got a lot more free trainings coming up, and so I have to kind of limit them. And so if this is something that you want to talk about, set up this session. Don't miss out on it. And it's also a little bit limited because I have a big birthday luau this weekend. And so my time is a little bit limited because of trying to get ready for Charlotte's birthday. But there's the link to set up that lead generation audit. I'd love to help you and answer all of your questions. I'm sure you have a ton of them after having gone through all of this. And so I really, really want to be that support for you. If you are looking for more in-depth support, I do still have spots available in the Christian Entrepreneur Academy. Sandra happens to be one of those participants. And we're going to do a lot of this stuff in here, and she's going to get a lot of hand holding. So if it's something that you really want to up level your business over the next year, it's 10 months long. And so we get to do a lot of good stuff in there one-on-one together. But you can learn more here by clicking this little handy link, if that's something that you're interested in. But definitely take me up on this lead generation audit, because I want to help you create your freebie. Because I can tell you that last May, I had 49 people on my list. And I got those 49 people from a confidence challenge that I launched, a 10-day confidence challenge that I had launched. And I had 49 people. Today, I have about 1,400 people on my list. Now, with that being said, are all of them ideal clients? No, I already told you they weren't, because I launched a prayer challenge at the end of the year last year, and I attracted a lot of amazing, amazing, powerful women, but a lot of them just love Jesus, and that's okay too. Bye, Johanna, love you too. And that's okay too. But now that I'm more focused on helping women build businesses, those people who love Jesus might not be as interested in that. And so my unsubscribes are a little bit higher. But that's the kind of stuff I want to help you with, because you can set up a freebie that you can have going all the time. On that prayer challenge that I launched in December, I actually got close to, or a little bit over, 900 leads from that. And it ran for about 90 days. And so you can do something like that. It doesn't take a lot. And that's the kind of stuff I want to help you with. So sign up for that. Let's get it on the calendar so that we can take advantage of that. But I just love you guys so much, and I want to support you. Is there any other questions that you have that I can answer? I'm sorry we ran a little bit over. I know it's kind of late where some of you are. Tomorrow, I'm going to go live in Faith Focused Entrepreneurs at 1 p.m. Mountain. I'm going to give you some mindset secrets to help with list building success. And so join me in the group tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain. I'm going to give you some of those secrets that I have to help kind of build up your mindset, because the quality of your list is way more important than the quantity. It's come up a lot tonight, and I want to help you dive into that more tomorrow and on Facebook Live. So join me tomorrow in the group. If you don't have any other questions, that's all I have for you. I hope it was helpful. I hope it inspired you to take some action. I hope that you do something with this. I know that it's a lot to process, as Sophia mentioned. And so the beautiful part about this is that you don't have to do it alone. That's what I'm here for, is to help you process all of it, and so that you can take action. Don't let this be like a webinar that you spent an hour and 8 minutes, 68 minutes on, but you don't do anything from it. Take some action on some of these things that I mentioned. Even if it's just breaking down each of the steps and doing a little bit, doing one step a day. Do that, because you're important, and your gifts and your purpose are important, and God created you for a reason, and He wants you to go out and share it with the world, and I want you to do that too. So I love you guys so much, and I will talk with you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Mountain, in the Faith Focused Entrepreneurs group. See you guys later.